Have you ever felt like you weren't good enough? Like others were always chosen over you, leaving you questioning your worth? In today's video, we'll uncover a profound truth from one of Jesus' parables that might just change the way you see yourself and your purpose. Stay tuned as we dive deep into this inspiring story, filled with encouragement for anyone who's ever felt they've been given less in life. No matter how much or how little we've been given, let us live our lives to earn God's praise. I stared at the email announcing my friend as the keynote speaker for an upcoming event. Disappointment welled up in my heart. To be fair, she's incredibly talented and effective in her ministry. It makes sense they chose her. But her success left me feeling inadequate. In the world's eyes, the most talented, capable, and popular individuals often get the best opportunities. But what about in God's kingdom? Does having fewer gifts or fewer opportunities make our work for Him any less important? I imagine Thaddeus wondered the same. Remember Thaddeus? No, don't worry, most people don't. He was one of the 12 apostles, often listed at the very end if mentioned at all. When Jesus told the parable of the talents, Matthew 25-14-30, I picture Thaddeus thinking, well, everyone knows Peter got 5 talents. I must be the one with 2 talents, right? If Jesus only wanted to contrast those who invest with those who bury their gifts, a simpler parable with just 2 servants would have sufficed. Instead, He chose to include 3, mirroring real life where different individuals are entrusted with varying amounts. The parable offers more than a warning against burying our gifts. It carries an encouraging message for disciples like Thaddeus, and perhaps you and me. Those entrusted with less resources, less influence, less opportunities. It's easy to believe that having less makes our contributions to God's kingdom insignificant. But that's exactly the misconception this parable aims to correct. Here are 3 reasons why those entrusted with less can still make a significant impact. 1. Less doesn't mean little. In today's terms, 1 talent is worth about $600,000. So, let's not pity the servant who only received 1 talent. Just because he received less doesn't mean it was insignificant. The same applies to us. Our resources, influence, or responsibilities may seem small compared to the Peters around us. But in God's eyes, they're far from small. Remember the widow who gave 2 small coins? Jesus said she gave more than anyone else, Mark 12:41-44. God's measure is vastly different from ours. 2. God knows your abilities. The master in the parable distributed the talents according to each servant's ability. Since they received different amounts, we can infer they had different capacities. The master knew that. Doesn't God know each of us the same way? If you're struggling to juggle chronic pain, caregiving responsibilities, disabilities, or financial burdens, remember that God understands your limitations. All He asks is that we faithfully use what we've been given, even if it's less than others. 3. Faithfulness matters more than results. In the parable, the servant with 1 talent serves as a cautionary tale. But consider the servant with 2 talents. He received far less than the one with 5 talents. Wouldn't that be the perfect excuse to slack off? Yet, he worked diligently and doubled his master's investment, just like the servant with 5 talents. In God's kingdom, rewards aren't based on results. Both servants received the same praise. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Matthew 25-21-23. God's rewards are not tied to success or efficiency, but to faithfulness. Different gifts, equal opportunities. Unlike the world, God's kingdom doesn't measure success by social media followers, accolades, or net worth. Whether God has entrusted us with 4 talents or 10, each of us has an equal opportunity to prove our faithfulness. One parent may be raising 2 children, while another is raising 5. Both can be faithful, loving parents whom God will commend. Well done. One pastor may shepherd a congregation of 20, while another leads 500. Both can be faithful servants of God, who hear, well done. One person may tithe $100, while another gives $50,000. Both can be faithful givers, whom God praises. Well done. No matter how much or how little we've been given, let us live our lives in a way that earns God's commendation. Let's strive to hear those words one day. Well done, good and faithful servant. No matter where you are in life, remember this: faithfulness, not comparison, is what truly matters in God's kingdom. If today's message touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments how you've used your talents to serve God and others. Together, let's inspire a world of faithful hearts. See you in the next video, and until then, be blessed and stay faithful.